This next meditation is based on a practice called radical acceptance, as it's detailed in the book Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach. I don't think that the meditation actually exists in this book, though Tara Brach is a renowned meditation teacher. I think I made it up in response to reading the book. But radical acceptance is basically a practice where we learn to be able to have the resiliency and the true strength of being able to sit with feelings, sometimes rather difficult feelings or maybe very pleasant feelings, rather than doing what's called a spiritual bypass, which means, oh, no, everything's fine, when actually the truth is anything but that. Or jumping to a platitude of, this will be fine, we'll get through it, that kind of thing. Although that may be true, there's value in being able to sit with the truth of the moment and hear what it is that arises from that place, what it wants to teach us. There's great wisdom in that, and that is the path of growth and deepening. The other path is more of avoidance. And eventually those feelings that we avoid, they're going to show up. They're going to show up maybe in our health, maybe in our relationships, maybe in our work. So let's just bypass that altogether. Let's just let ourselves sit in this space, give ourselves 10, 15, 20 minutes to sit in this space with the feeling and notice that as we sit with it, it shifts, it changes. This is the nature of feelings, of emotions. They are not permanent. They are transitory. There's a principle in Buddhism called impermanence, that there's very little that we think is permanent that actually is permanent. All things will change. All things will shift. Things will go away. Things will come in. This is true of thoughts. This is true of emotions. And this is true of physical state, whether it's events in our life or the way that our body is. One day we don't feel well, the next day we do feel well. Everything is in a state of transition. And when we can have a practice where we continue to come back to that truth, then it means that when we're faced with something really difficult, we're able to come back to that place of, okay, this is difficult, but I can continue to breathe and move through because I know it is not permanent. I can radically accept the truth of my experience because I know that something will change and something new will come, or I can radically accept the truth of my experience because I can give it love. I can accept it, not as me, but as something that is here to teach me, something coming forward to teach me perhaps a bit more about myself, about the things that I need in life, the things that I value. When we can view strong emotions as lessons of what it is that we value, what is important to us, well, now we're in a deepening path of maturity. And as artists, this connects us to humanity. And isn't that a large part of what art is? So let's give it a try. Come to a comfortably seated position. Again, you can lie down if you wish, but I do encourage you to try sitting up. It helps you to stay awake, more alert, and we are trying to stay awake and alert. Come to a comfortable position. That's essential, so you can have support to your back. But wherever it is that you're seated, I want you to accept the support that's being offered you. So feel the support underneath you. And during this meditation, I want to encourage a couple of things. One is either you can have the eyes opened or you can have the eyes closed. If the eyes are open, then you're going to have them, the gaze directing downwards, about 3 to 6 feet in front of you. If they're closed, then you might rotate the eyes so that you would be looking about in this region. There's a whole lot of science behind that. I'm not going to get into it. Honestly, I don't know a lot about it, just a little bit, but I'm not going to get into it. But there's a reason why we would look at that point. With the gaze going downward with the eyes open, what I want you to do is you can go between each, eyes closed or eyes open. Sometimes when our eyes are closed, we get a little sleepy. You can remedy that by simply opening your eyes. It helps you to stay present in the moment. And what I personally have found is that when I meditate with my eyes open, it allows me to be able to bring that state into my waking life, which of course is what our entire goal is, that there would be this kind of fuzzy boundary, this sort of seamlessness between am I meditating or am I not meditating? In fact, we're always meditating, all of us. What is the thought we're focused on? Whether you're conscious of it or not, that's what you're meditating on. So in meditation, we learn to become conscious of it and choose the thought. All right, so find your comfortable seated position. Let your eyes either close or be partially opened, gaze down in front of you. Allow your thighs to soften, your seat to feel the support of the floor underneath you. The hands rest on your legs or beside you. The shoulders soften. The space between the shoulder blades releases. The sternum softens. Back of the neck releases. The top of the skull reaches effortlessly upwards. The tongue softens. The breath flows easily in and out, deepening. And now take a moment to notice the sensation of air on your skin. And sounds in the room. What is the sound furthest from you? Reach out with your listening and receive the sound furthest from you. What is the sound closest to you? Rather than labeling it, can you simply hear it, receive it? Now turn your awareness to the sensation of your breath moving in and out. Can you deepen it? Imagining perhaps that you were like a whale and you had a blowhole in the lower body. Let's place it at the base of the pelvis. What is it like to imagine breath, to feel as though breath were coming in and out from this place? And now imagine that the breath is coming in and out from the heart space. Can you feel the movement there? Breathe into that space, in the heart space. Let the breath come easily, softening, not a lot of effort or forcing. This is about not doing, softening the muscles so that the bones can move, the organs can literally breathe. Now let's go under that physical sensation. What is it like to sit in the space of the heart? What do you find there? It might be an emotion. It might feel like an energy, a warmth, or a tingling, or a tension. Whatever you find, can you sit with it? Is it comfortable enough to sit with? And if it is uncomfortable, is it bearable enough to sit with for just a moment? Simply to get to know this friend, this companion, this temporary energy. It's possible that you might feel what you interpret as nothing. You might be curious to see if that's peace or bliss or surrender. So let's get curious about this sensation or non-sensation. How much space does it take up? Everything takes up space. What is the quality of this energy, this emotion, this experience? Let's look into the texture of it. Does it have a texture? Or a color? Does it have weight? What is the weight of it? The density. Can you sit here being with this experience? The fact that you can perceive it is proof that it is not you. Something in you can perceive it. The moment that you notice it, you cut the illusion that it is you. If it is too unbearable to sit with, Can you just sit on the edge of it? Maybe not in the center of the heart, maybe more on the edge, off to the side or above or below. Now let's employ the breath. Can you breathe right into the space where your awareness is, either in the center of this energy, this emotion, this experience, or just off to the side? Direct your breath right into that place, and on an out breath, let that flow out. So we're going to breathe right into the space of the heart and gather up this experience, this energy. And on the out breath, I want you to imagine that it turns into light. In breath into the space of the heart. Out breath, let it go. Any sounds that want to come are welcome. Any changes of breath are welcome. Any and all emotions are welcome. Breathing into the space in the heart and out the breath. Turning it into a lightness, perhaps a different color, a different energy. Or perhaps with intention, imagining it as hope and peace for the world. Or maybe it just wants to be sat with for a while. And that's okay too. Now bring your hands in some meaningful gesture over this heart space. If your eyes aren't already closed, let them close and bow your head in reverence and honor to this beautiful space which is called your heart. Breathe right into that space underneath your hands. And let a sigh out right from that space right underneath your hands. Let your eyes come open. Radical acceptance. Now I recommend that you get a piece of paper and write, stream of consciousness, write. Just don't edit, just write. Or draw, get some colors and just draw. Don't worry about being clever. Just let the marker go over, or the pencil go over the paper. Just draw, motor, move, or dance, move. Use breath, use sound if those are useful for you, but get your body moving, you're motoring with your hands by drawing or writing. See what comes up. Radical acceptance. Can we accept ourselves as is in this moment, not because it's who we are forever, but because we're here to teach ourselves something about life, about what matters to us, about what's true in this present moment, so that we can move forward with better discernment, with greater compassion. Beautiful. Before we end, I just want to say any of the instruction I gave about particular ways of breathing, it's not the right way to breathe, it's simply a way to breathe. So these are simply tools that you can employ as you wish. I hope it was useful to you. Thank you so much. Many blessings to you. I'll see you soon.